And how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. The news that I have for you today is a pretty unexpected update from Bethesda Game Studios, and as always I'll be breaking the situation down and giving you as much information about it as possible, so we can then speculate on what this could tell us about Bethesda Game Studios' future plans. On December 6th, over on the official subreddit for The Elder Scrolls Legends, Bethesda Game Studios posted this announcement. We would like to provide an update on Legends in regard to new content. Our previous roadmap indicated we would be releasing one more set this year, but we decided to put any new content development or releases on hold for the foreseeable future. This decision will not in any way affect the release and development of GAEA's Asia-specific version of Legends, which is operated separately, but we will inform our decisions on content and future development going forward. Until then, you can still download and play Legends on all existing platforms and compete online as well as in the single-player modes. We will still continue to support the game with monthly reward cards and regular in-game events. New expansions and other future content, however, are no longer under active development. We will continue to provide ongoing maintenance support. To thank you all for supporting Legends these past few years and for continuing to play with us, we're giving away the Tamriel collection, an assortment of new 3 attribute cards and more, to all players for free upon their next login. We're immensely grateful to work on The Elder Scrolls Legends, to have you as a community, and we sincerely appreciate the love and support you've given us. Although some people in the community expected this to happen, it is still a surprise seeing how Bethesda has for the most part constantly updated Legends with expansions and content. And although Bethesda states that they are going to continue to support the game with maintenance support and monthly rewards and so on, ultimately that is only going to be for most likely a few years, and basically this is Bethesda Game Studios announcing that they are finished with The Elder Scrolls Legends from this point forward. No new content, no updates, and within a few years you most likely won't even be able to play the game anymore once they stop doing maintenance on the game. And if we begin to actually look into the situation a bit further, we can start to see exactly why Bethesda would actually do this. The first and most obvious reason that Bethesda is done with The Elder Scrolls Legends is due to sales. That is generally always one of the main determining factors when a game is cancelled. The very recent Jaws of Oblivion expansion, having been released back in October, didn't do too well, didn't bring many new players to the game, and veteran Elder Scrolls Legends fans didn't enjoy the new gameplay mechanics or card sets that the latest expansion had to offer. So add a somewhat failed recent expansion pack into a game that was released late in an already oversaturated game market when it came to card games like this, and it kinda begins to be a bit obvious why Bethesda made this decision. But this goes even a bit deeper than this. Although Bethesda Game Studios technically are the studio behind The Elder Scrolls Legends, for years now they technically haven't been the studio developing the game. First, they outsourced it to a studio known as Direwolf Digital up until May 31st of 2018, when they switched The Elder Scrolls Legends over to Sparky Pants Studios. Most likely because Sparky Pants is located within Bethesda, Maryland as well, or maybe because their name is Sparky Pants for some reason. Seeing how Direwolf Digital still exists and seems to be doing well from what it seems, that makes you wonder why the swap happened in the first place. Was Sparky Pants such a convincing name? Or maybe there were internal issues with The Elder Scrolls Legends itself? Or maybe the dev swap back in 2018 was one of the first signs that Legends was headed towards abandonment like this. With all of this evidence combined, it's easy to see why Bethesda decided to step away from The Elder Scrolls Legends, but what does this mean for the future of Bethesda Game Studios? What could this tell us about what they have going on behind closed doors right now? Well, immediately I know the first thing people will be comparing this to will be Fallout 76. If Fallout 76 isn't doing too well, would it get cancelled too? Well, yes and no. First of all, technically yes, but remember The Elder Scrolls Legends has been out since March 17th of 2017, which is obviously longer than how long Fallout 76 has been out for. And Fallout 76 has been doing better than Legends, at least from what it seems. Even with all of the issues, Fallout 76 seems to still have a pretty solid following, but if things started to turn south, if Bethesda kept making wrong decisions regarding Fallout 76 and even more players started to leave the game, then yes, technically this would lead to a point to when Bethesda would decide to abandon and walk away from Fallout 76. This eventually has to happen with almost any online game of its kind, because these types of online games require servers and staff in order to maintain them. And and if the game isn't profitable enough to maintain those servers and pay those staff, then away goes support for the game. This has happened countless times in the gaming industry when it comes to online games. Another thing to remember is that Bethesda outsourced The Elder Scrolls Legends to 2 different external studios during its lifetime, unlike Fallout 76, which is being handled internally by Bethesda Game Studios Austin with direct oversight by the main studio in Maryland. This puts Fallout 76 in multiple different categories when compared to The Elder Scrolls Legends, so we can't really use this event as any kind of sign that Fallout 76 could be headed down the same path. However, this is a sign that Bethesda Game Studios is keeping a close eye on how profitable and worth it their current projects are. Maybe Bethesda is starting to worry a bit about their bottom line, so in order to increase profits, they are beginning to downsize by cutting their lowest gross in-game assets. Or maybe Bethesda was never really interested in the card game like The Elder Scrolls Legends in the first place, because if Bethesda was willing to outsource the game to an external studio, it must not have been on the top of their priority list in the beginning, meaning whenever a reason came up to cut a game project or asset, The Elder Scrolls Legends would have been the first game on the chopping block list one way or another for the same reasons that we went over earlier in this video. And as I have always said, we can't really use this event to speculate on any changes this could bring to both Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6, as that would be completely invalid. It would be pretty closed-minded to use things like The Elder Scrolls Legends, or especially Fallout 76, or any of the other recent Bethesda happenings regarding Fallout 76 as a litmus test to judge how all future Bethesda Game Studios games will be. Fallout 76 is only one game, and it's a very unique game, at least in terms of what Bethesda Game Studios usually makes. It's their first online game, and on top of all of this, it's a litmus test in itself, and one that has not gone too well for Bethesda. Channels that do videos slamming The Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield as potentially being changed forever because of these events are just begging for clicks and ad revenue, so they resort to any kind of dramatic clickbait they can find in order to fill their pockets, their egos, and waste your time. But as always, what I want to know is, what do you have to say about all of this? Why do you think Bethesda Game Studios decided to walk away from The Elder Scrolls Legends? Let me know down in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet and may get featured in a future video. Be sure to like this video if you enjoy the content, and subscribe and turn notifications on so you can stay in the know when it comes to the latest and the greatest gaming news. Follow me over on Twitter for the latest channel updates. Check out the official Skullzi Discord chat server, where there is always an awesome and active conversation and some speculation taking place. Be sure to check out Loot Drop for official Skullzi merch, and if you want to have your hand in providing future content and having access to unique and awesome awards, then consider subscribing to the community over on Patreon, or join the channel here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all of these awesome things are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when The Elder Scrolls 6 is ruined forever because Bethesda Game Studios put up a blog post, and if you add together the first word of every sentence, it says Elder Scrolls 6 bad. Ooh, let's do a 15-minute video about this.
just works.